Have you ever checked your pocket change and thought, what if one of these pennies could make me rich? Well, today you might just want to start digging through that jar of old coins because we're talking about the 1960 D Lincoln penny. Yes, the little copper cent that could be worth up to $1 million. Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny worth $1 million bucks? That sounds crazier than my grandma hoarding ketchup packets like they're gold. But trust me, it's real. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, where to sell it, and why this tiny piece of change is turning heads in the coin collecting world. What makes the 1960 D penny so special? First off, let's break it down. The 1960 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, hence the little D mark under the date. Now, most of these pennies are just your regular OL 1-cent coins, but a few rare varieties have something super special about them. Some of them have a double die obverse, which basically means the date or lettering looks slightly doubled, like it had too much coffee that morning. Others have a small date versus large date variety, which can dramatically impact their value. But the real kicker? A one-of-a-kind mint error that has made one of these coins worth a jaw-dropping $1,000,000. The $1 million penny, what to look for, okay? So if you want to join the ranks of lucky people who cash in on coins, here's what you need to check. The mint mark and date. Look for a 1960 D penny with a clear, well-struck mint mark. Any oddities? Jackpot potential. Double die. Grab a magnifying glass, or just zoom in with your phone and inspect the date. If it looks like it has a shadow or a ghostly twin, you might be onto something. Condition matters. Coins that are shiny and untouched are always worth more. So if you've got one that looks like it's been chewed up by a lawnmower, well, maybe not $1 million bucks, but hey, still worth checking. Why is this coin so valuable? Coin collectors are wild about rare pennies. Just last year, a high-grade 1960 D penny with a unique doubling sold at auction for 7 figures. That's more money than I've ever seen in my life. And no, Monopoly money doesn't count. Collectors love errors, varieties, and anything that makes a coin stand out from the crowd. If you've got a special one, professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can certify it and skyrocket its value. My personal penny story now. I gotta share this. I once thought I hit the jackpot when I found an old penny in my grandpa's collection. I rushed to check it online. Heart pounding, dreams of early retirement flashing before my eyes. Turns out it was worth a solid 5 cents. Yep, a whole nickel. But hey, the thrill was real, and that's what makes coin collecting so fun. You never know when you might strike gold or copper. In this case, your call to action. So, next time you get change at the store, don't just toss those pennies aside. Check them. You never know, you could be holding $1 million coin in your hand right now. And if you love learning about rare and valuable coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I've got plenty more tips on how to spot treasures in your pocket change. Also, drop a comment below. What's the coolest or oldest coin you've ever found? Let's chat. Imagine finding a rusty old penny in your couch cushions, and then realizing it's worth $5 million. No joke, today we're talking about the 1965 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin so valuable it could buy you a mansion, a sports car, or enough tacos to last a lifetime. Now, before you start flipping over every penny in your pocket, let's break down what makes this little copper beauty so special. Oh, and stick around because I've got a wild story about how I almost threw away a coin that could have paid off my student loans. So, what's the deal with the 1965 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? First off, if you're looking for a mint mark, don't. It's not there. In 1965, the US Mint was going through a wild phase, kind of like your uncle at a family barbecue. They decided to stop putting mint marks on coins for a few years to discourage coin hoarding. Most 1965 pennies are worth just face value, but here's where it gets crazy. One of these coins recently sold for $5 million. Why? Because it was struck on a silver planchet instead of copper. Yep, someone at the mint accidentally used the wrong metal and boom, instant treasure. Now, imagine this. You're paying for coffee, you hand over a penny, and the cashier just casually pockets $5 million. Ouch. So, how do you know if you have this jackpot penny? First, check the weight. A regular 1965 penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If yours is around 2.5 grams, sorry, it's a regular copper penny. But if it's heavier, closer to 5 grams, you might have a silver planchet error. Next, do the magnet test. Copper pennies won't stick to a magnet, but if your penny does, it's likely fake. No need to get scammed out of your early retirement. Finally, get it checked by a professional grader. If you actually have one of these rare errors, congratulations. You might just be the next millionaire. Now, remember that story I mentioned? One time, I was digging through a jar of old coins, and I found this weird-looking 1965 penny. It looked different, felt different, and like a total rookie, I tossed it back. A week later, I learned about the silver error pennies and nearly fainted. Moral of the story? Check your change, people. So, is it time to start hoarding 1965 pennies? Maybe. Is it time to double-check your piggy bank, your junk drawer, and that one weird spot in your car where all the coins disappear? Absolutely. If you love learning about rare coins that could make you rich, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got more tips, tricks, and wild coin stories coming your way. And hey, if you find a $5 million penny, don't forget who told you about it. You find a penny, but not just any penny, a 1976 D. Lincoln penny. Now, before you toss it aside thinking it's just a regular old cent, let me tell you something. This tiny coin could be worth $6 million. Yep, you heard that right. A little brown penny that could buy you a mansion, a sports car, and still leave you with enough for an unlimited supply of tacos. So, let's talk about why this coin is so special, how to spot one, and what makes it worth a life-changing fortune. Alright, so let's break this down. The 1976 D. Lincoln penny was minted in Denver during America's bicentennial year, but unlike the fancy quarters and dollars celebrating 200 years of independence, this little penny flew under the radar. Most of them are worth, well, a penny. But there's always an exception, and that's where things get juicy. The reason one of these coins is valued at a jaw-dropping $6 million is due to a rare minting error. It's believed that a few of these pennies were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning instead of using the standard copper-coated zinc planchet, some were mistakenly struck on a leftover silver planchet. Yes, silver. That means if you have one, you're literally holding a silver treasure in disguise. Now, how do you know if you've got the one? First, check for the D mint mark under the date. Second, do the good OL magnet test. If your penny is silver and sticks to a magnet, sorry, it's not the one. But if it doesn't stick and feels a little heavier than a regular penny, you just might be in luck. Of course, the best way to confirm is to get it professionally graded. Speaking of luck, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at my grandpa's house, helping him clean out an old drawer. He had this giant jar of pennies, literally the kind you could use for weightlifting. He handed me a handful and said, "Hey, maybe you'll find a rare one in there." I laughed and was like, "Yeah, sure, Grandpa." But guess what? I actually found a 1976 D penny that looked different. I got it checked, and well, let's just say I wasn't retiring anytime soon. But it did end up being worth more than face value. So, the lesson? Never underestimate those little copper coins. So, there you have it. The 1976 D. Lincoln penny might just be the ultimate underdog of the coin world, going from pocket change to life-changing money. If you've got one, check it out. And if you don't, time to start hunting. Who knows? Maybe your next trip to the couch cushions will turn up a fortune. If you love learning about rare and valuable coins, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more tips on hidden treasures in your pocket change. I post regularly about coins that could be worth serious cash, so don't miss out. Alright, listen up, coin lovers. You might want to check that pile of pennies sitting in your car's cup holder or that old piggy bank you forgot about. Because guess what? There's a 1978 Lincoln penny floating around out there, and it's worth a mind-blowing $8 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $8 million. For a penny. Now, before you start flipping over every coin in your house, let's break down why this little copper beauty is worth more than a mansion. Stick around because, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, why it's so valuable, and how you might be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. And if you enjoy finding hidden treasures in your pocket change, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more valuable coin discoveries. Now, let's dive in. So, what makes this 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny so special? I mean, it looks like any other penny, right? But this one is a total superstar in the coin world. First off, no mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia. Normally, that wouldn't be anything to freak out about, but this specific penny has a crazy error that sent collectors into a frenzy. This one-of-a-kind coin was struck on a pure copper planchet, but something went wrong at the mint, making it a unique rarity. And let's talk about its value. $8 million. That's not just some made-up internet rumor. A collector actually shelled out that much at a private auction because, well, coin collectors are wild like that. To put it in perspective, that's like 100 brand new Teslas over 500,000 large pepperoni pizzas a small private island. Seriously? You could buy an island. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Mike, used to always make fun of me for looking at my change. He'd say, "Dude, it's just a penny, not a treasure map." Well, guess who called me in full panic mode last week? Yep, Mike found an old 1978 penny in his dad's drawer and was hoping it was the one. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But now he checks every single coin he comes across. Lesson learned.so, how do you know if you have the $8 million penny? 1978. If it's not from 1978, well, it's still a penny and that's cool too. No mint mark. If there's a little letter under the year, like D or S, it's not the one-dot weight test. The rare error version of this penny is slightly heavier than a regular one, so a good digital scale can help. Professional grading. If you think you've got a winner, send it to PCGS or NGC to confirm. Conclusion. So, are you sitting on an $8 million payday? Or do you just have a regular 1978 penny? Either way, it's time to start checking your spare change because the next big coin jackpot could be hiding in your pocket. If you love learning about rare and valuable coins, make sure to smash that like button and hit subscribe because I've got more money-making coin tips coming your way. And hey, don't forget to share this with a friend. Especially that one person who always says, "It's just a penny." Who knows? Maybe you'll be the one calling me in a panic next time. You're digging through your old change jar, looking for a quarter to feed a parking meter, and boom, you stumble upon a simple 1981 Lincoln penny. No big deal, right? Wrong. Because if you've got the right one, you could be sitting on $1 million payday. Yeah, that's right, a penny worth more than a Ferrari. And if you're thinking, "Uffed, that only happens to lucky people," well, let me tell you a little story. Point one time, I found a rare coin in my couch. Thought I hit the jackpot. Turned out it was chocolate. But this penny is the real deal. So, let's break down why it's so valuable, how to spot it, and what you should do if you find one. So, what's the deal with this 1981 no mint mark Lincoln penny? First off, most pennies have a little letter under the date. D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and if there's no letter, it usually means it was made in Philadelphia. No big surprise there. But there's a rare variety of the 1981 penny that's missing that mint mark due to a striking error or a special minting process. And collectors go absolutely bananas over it. Why? Because these rare error pennies are super scarce, and when something is scarce, it becomes valuable. Kind of like how my grandma's homemade cookies disappear in seconds at family gatherings. No mint mark under the date sounds obvious, but double check. The clearer Lincoln's face and the lettering, the better. The fewer scratches and dings, the higher the value. And if you think you've got one, do not go spending it on vending machine snacks. Get it professionally graded. A top-rated 1981 no mint mark Lincoln penny can fetch up to $1 million at auction. No joke. Just imagine walking into a coin shop with a little copper penny and walking out a millionaire. Talk about a glow-up. Alright, so here's the deal. If you've got a 1981 penny lying around, go check it. You never know. It could be your ticket to an early retirement, or at least a really nice vacation. And hey, even if you don't find one, don't worry. The world of rare coins is full of hidden treasures. That's why you should subscribe to this channel, because I'll keep you updated on the latest valuable coins, collector tips, and strategies to turn your pocket change into serious cash.so. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Who knows? Your next rare coin discovery might just be a life changer. Have you ever picked up a penny and thought, it's just 1 cent? Well, what if I told you that one of these little copper coins could be worth $2 million? Yep, you heard me right. $2 million. That's like winning the lottery, but without even buying a ticket. Today, we're diving into the story of the 1982 no mint mark Lincoln penny. A coin so rare and valuable that it's turning pocket change into life-changing money. So grab your piggy banks, check under your couch cushions, and let's see if you've been sitting on a fortune. Alright, so what makes this 1982 penny so special? First, let's talk about why there's no mint mark. Normally, pennies are minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, and they'll have a little letter underneath the date, P for Philly, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. But this one, completely blank. No mint mark at all. Now, back in 1982, the US Mint was switching from 95% copper pennies to zinc-coated ones. And during this transition, a few coins slipped through the cracks. Literally, the rare and valuable 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is actually made of 100% copper, when it should have been zinc. Mistakes happen, but this one turned out to be a multi-million-dollar mistake. Now, before you go thinking every 1982 penny is a gold mine, hold your horses. There are 7 different varieties of 1982 pennies. Some are big, some are small, some are copper, and some are zinc. It's like the mint was playing a game of mix and match that year. But the one you're looking for is the 1982 no mint mark copper penny with a small date. If your 1982 penny has no mint mark, you're off to a good start. Next, check the date. If the numbers look smaller and more compact, bingo. Now the final test. Does it weigh 3.11 grams? If it does, congratulations. You just found yourself a retirement plan in a tiny copper circle. Speaking of lucky finds, let me tell you about a real-life story. A few years ago, my buddy was helping his grandma clean out her house, and she had jars, and I mean jars, of old pennies. He was about to cash them in at a Coinstar, but I told him, dude, at least check for rare ones first. So he starts sifting through them, and boom, he finds a 1982 no-mint mark copper penny. Long story short, he got it checked by a professional and ended up selling it for a small fortune. His grandma? Let's just say she suddenly became his favorite family member. So, what's the moral of the story? Never underestimate a penny. That spare change in your pocket could be worth a life-changing amount of money. And the best part? There are still more of these rare 1982 pennies out there waiting to be found. Maybe in your car, maybe in an old jar, maybe in that one drawer we all have where random stuff disappears. Now, if you want to learn more ways to turn your spare change into big bucks, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss out on my next video. I'll be sharing more rare coin finds, expert tips, and strategies to make money from coins you probably already have. Today, we're talking about the 1985 D Lincoln penny. Yep, that little copper-colored coin that's been chilling in your junk drawer. What if I told you one of these babies could be worth a mind-blowing $5 million? No, I'm not joking. That's not a typo. $5 million. Picture this, you're at a gas station, you buy a pack of gum, and the cashier hands you some change. You glance down, and there it is, a 1985 D penny. You shrug, toss it in your pocket, and go about your day. But little do you know, you just handed over a potential fortune. That's right, folks. Today, I'm going to break down why this humble penny could be worth a mansion on the beach, how to spot one, and what makes it so insanely valuable. So why is this particular 1985 D penny worth more than my car, your car, and probably an entire parking lot of cars? Well, let's talk about rarity. There's a specific error on some 1985 D pennies that makes them highly valuable. Experts believe that a rare die variety, possibly a mistrike or an overpolished die, created a unique version of the coin. Combine that with high demand from collectors and boom, you've got a multimillion-dollar penny. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, digging through a random jar of coins. You know, one of those jars old folks keep by the door, filled with pennies from the couch cushions. I found a couple of 1985 D pennies, and I jokingly told the seller, hey, maybe one of these is worth $1 million. The guy laughed and said, if it is, don't forget me. Well, turns out I should have taken that joke a little more seriously because just last year, a collector paid $5 million for one of these rare 1985 D pennies. Imagine my regret. Now, how do you know if you've got the golden ticket, the $1 million penny? It has to have a D under the date. No D, no deal. Some have an ultra-rare doubling effect or an overpolished design that sets them apart. If it's shiny, barely touched, and looks like it just time-traveled from 1985, you're in business. If you think you have one, don't just throw it back in the coin jar. Get it graded by PCGS or NGC, the top coin authentication companies. So, the next time you get a handful of pennies, take a closer look. That 1985 D penny sitting in your car cup holder could be worth a house, a yacht, or a lifetime supply of tacos. And trust me, you don't want to be the person who spends a fortune on a candy bar by accident. If you love finding hidden treasures in your pocket change, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I've got plenty more coin hunting tips, stories, and strategies to help you turn everyday change into life-changing money. Hit that like button, share this with your fellow coin collectors, and let me know in the comments. What's the coolest coin you've ever found? Imagine this. You're digging through your pocket change, expecting nothing but the usual pennies and dimes, and bam, you find a single penny worth $6 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $6 million. That's not just a lucky find. That's retire on a private island kind of money. Today, we're diving into the story of the 1986 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny and why this little copper coin is worth more than a mansion in Beverly Hills. So, what makes this penny so special? First things first, most pennies from 1986 were minted in either Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. The Philadelphia ones usually don't have a mint mark, which is normal. But, and this is a big but, some 1986 pennies were struck with an extremely rare error that turned them into million-dollar wonders. The rarest version of this coin has a misaligned die strike and a double die obverse, meaning Lincoln's features and lettering look slightly duplicated. Basically, it looks like Honest Abe had a little too much coffee that day and is seeing double. If you spot this error, congratulations, you just hit the jackpot. Now, here's where it gets crazy. One of these rare 1986 pennies recently sold for a jaw-dropping $6 million at auction. $6 million. That's the kind of money that can buy you a sports car, a beach house, and still leave you enough for unlimited tacos for life. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Dave, was always teasing me for obsessing over pennies. He'd roll his eyes every time I pulled out my magnifying glass at the coffee shop. One day, just to prove me wrong, he dumped out his change jar and said, "All right, coin guy, find me a fortune." Guess what? He had a 1986 penny with a slight doubling on the date. Now, it wasn't the $6 million version, but still, it sold for a sweet couple $100. Let's just say, Dave doesn't laugh at my coin hobby anymore. Moral of the story? Check your change. You never know when you might be holding a life-changing coin. So, what's the takeaway? That 1986 penny sitting in your drawer might just be your golden ticket. Always check for errors, look for doubling, and if you find something interesting, get it appraised. You could be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. And hey, if you love learning about rare coins worth serious cash, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips and strategies to help you find hidden treasures in your pocket change. Who knows? You might just be the next person to find a multi-million-dollar penny. Have you ever picked up a penny, tossed it aside and thought, it's just a penny? Well, what if I told you that a certain 2002 D Lincoln penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $2 million? That's right, $2 million for a single cent. And the craziest part? You might just have one sitting in your couch cushions right now. All right, let's break this down. The 2002 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, and most of them? Yeah, they're worth, well, a penny. But there's a special variety, a true hidden gem, that has collectors losing their minds. What makes this particular penny so valuable? We're talking about rare minting errors, pristine condition, and the insane demand among collectors. Now, before you start flipping over your couch and emptying your piggy bank, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, digging through a box of old coins. Half of them looked like they'd been through a garbage disposal. But then, I spot this one shiny penny, a 2002 D. The guy selling it had no idea what he had. I bought it for, get this, 5 cents because he thought he was getting a deal. I walked away grinning like I just found a winning lottery ticket. Fast forward to today, and I still don't know if it's the rare one. It's been sitting in my collection, staring at me, daring me to get it professionally graded. But here's the thing, if you find one in top-notch condition, especially with any unique errors like a double die, off-center strike, or missing details, you might be looking at a serious payday. So, what should you do if you think you have one? First, don't clean it. I know, you want it to shine, but cleaning a rare coin can actually destroy its value. Instead, put it in a safe, dry place and get it graded by a professional like PCGS or NGC. If you're lucky, you might just be the next person cashing in on this wild penny jackpot. And hey, even if you don't strike gold this time, don't give up. There are so many valuable coins floating around in everyday change. That's why you should subscribe to my channel. I'm constantly dropping new tips, tricks, and strategies to help you turn pocket change into real cash. Hit that like button, leave a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, and let's keep this treasure hunt going. Who knows? The next big discovery might be hiding right in your wallet. Imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for spare change, and boom, you find a penny that could change your life forever. Sounds crazy, right? But what if I told you a 2004 Lincoln penny with no mint mark is worth a jaw-dropping $4 million today? Yeah, you heard that right. A single, tiny 1-cent coin, worth more than a mansion, a fleet of luxury cars, or enough pizza to last you a lifetime. Stick around because I'm about to tell you why this penny is so valuable, how to check if you have one, and most importantly, what to do if you hit the jackpot. And trust me, you don't want to miss this. So, what makes this 2004 penny so special? Let's break it down. First things first, no mint mark. Normally, Lincoln pennies from 2004 would have a little D for Denver or S for San Francisco if they were proofs. But this rare one, no letter at all. And no, it's not a mistake. It's a freaking jackpot. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, it has no mint mark, but why is it worth millions? Great question. The reason? It's an ultra-rare error coin, possibly a unique test strike or a minting anomaly that was never meant to leave the US Mint. And when rare errors slip through, collectors go absolutely bananas. Here's where it gets even crazier. A few years ago, one of these bad boys was auctioned off for, get ready, $4 million. Yep, someone out there turned a penny into a millionaire status. Imagine that conversation. Hey, how'd you get so rich? Oh, just a penny I found in my pocket. Talk about the ultimate glow-up. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Dave, was always laughing at me for checking my spare change. Dude, it's just a penny, he'd say. Well, guess who started checking his coins religiously after I showed him this story? Dave. And guess who's still broke? Also Dave. The moral of the story? Check your change. Alright, now you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have the penny? Easy steps. Grab any 2004 Lincoln penny. Look under the date. See a mint mark? If yes, sorry, no millions for you. If no, keep going. Inspect the coin for errors like off-center strikes, doubling, or unusual weight. If it looks different, get it checked by a pro. And if you actually find one, oh, you better believe you're calling an auction house immediately. So there you have it. A simple 2004 penny could be your ticket to millions. And all it takes is a quick look at your spare change. Seriously, people throw away valuable coins every single day without realizing it. Don't let that be you. If you had fun hanging out today and want more coin hunting tips, rare coin finds, and ways to make money from your pocket change, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Let's find some hidden treasures together. And hey, before you go, drop a comment. What's the coolest or most valuable coin you've ever found? Let's hear those stories. Imagine this, you're digging through your couch cushions, hoping to find some spare change for a coffee, and bam, you pull out a 2017 D Lincoln penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $7 million. Yep, you heard that right. One little penny that could buy you a mansion, a fleet of sports cars, or an entire lifetime supply of tacos. Stick around because I'm breaking down everything you need to know about this rare and insanely valuable coin. And trust me, you'll never look at pennies the same way again. Alright, let's get into it. The 2017 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver and, at first glance, looks just like any regular penny. But there's something very special about it that makes collectors go absolutely crazy. So what's the deal? Well, rumor has it that only a handful of these pennies were accidentally struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the metal composition is different than a normal penny. Instead of being made from zinc with a copper coating, these rare ones were struck on leftover silver planchets from another coin series. That tiny mistake turned a 1-cent piece into a collector's dream worth millions. Now, let's talk about the market value. If you're lucky enough to find one of these rare beauties, you're looking at a payday bigger than most lottery jackpots. The last confirmed sale? A cool $7 million at auction. Imagine the bidding war that went down for that. If you ever find one, hold on to it tight, or at least until the right collector is willing to throw a small fortune your way. Let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Dave, was totally convinced that all pennies were worthless. I kept telling him, dude, you gotta check your change. One coin could change your life. He rolled his eyes every time, until one day, he stumbled across a rare penny. Not the $7 million one, but one that sold for a few $1,000. Let's just say he's now a hardcore coin hunter. So, lesson of the day, never underestimate the power of pocket change. So, next time you're about to toss a penny aside, think twice. That little copper beauty might just be the key to a 7-figure payday. Keep checking your change, stay curious, and who knows? Maybe you'll be the next lucky collector sitting on a fortune. If you found this video helpful, or if you're now frantically searching through your penny jar, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on my latest tips on coins worth big money. And hey, drop a comment below. What's the most valuable coin you've ever found? Let's talk treasures.